We have a saying around here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no brains, no headache.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Welcome to episode 271 of No Brains, No Headache podcast. I'm going to be your host today, Jordan Weichel. Happy to be here. Damn glad to do so. Next to me on the screen, if you're watching on YouTube, our preferred platform for all of our loyal listeners and viewers out there, you will see my co-host, confidant, longtime friend, fellow comedian. It's always good to catch up with him on a weekly basis across the country, as No Brains, No Headache has now expanded into 2 states of the 50. We're rocking it. 4%. What can you say? Matt Cleary. I call him Ongo. Ongo, how are we doing today?
Good. First day, really. Yesterday was the first day of not drinking. I think I only took 1 day off in October, which my body is just in turmoil. Like the insides are black.
Is there regret?
A whole lot of it.
Just for a little bit of context, Matt finished up not sober October. He did the opposite. He's a trendsetter. He goes against the grain, where Matt set out to drink, what was it, at least one beer, one adult beverage every day in October, which consists of 31 days. You made it through only skipping 1 day. I would say that's a success. I mean, that's hard to do.
I bookend it with I'll get to this later, but on Saturday was November 1st, and I got just annihilated. And then I'm pretty sure whatever the month before it's Halloween started or October started, I
September,
drank.
also known as September.
Yeah, I'm big on this. I think that all months should just be numbers. Like, don't give me like, oh, the Greek god for June is just that's 6. All months should just be a number. Like, I don't care. It's confusing to me. I don't know what comes after the next month. Say the number and I'll know what you're talking about.
We are now in the 11th month of the year of our Lord 2025.
Like, the only reason I know the month of September is 9 is because 9/11.
Well, yeah, and like what a coincidence that happened on 9/11. Also in America, our phone number for emergencies 911. They really thought that one through. I mean, at this point, we just kind of got to put our hand up and say, hey, you know what? We got kudos to you guys on the planning court, on the planning team. Hell of a job.
Imagine if they were just a day off. Be like, oh, 9/12, never forget. It's like that doesn't ring off the like 9/10, day that will go down in infamy. It's like, nope.
I'm struggling with my light right now. The sun is setting here in Arizona. I look like a goddamn Bengal tiger.
Yeah, you do. Big Bengals fan.
I kind of was. We're gonna wrap up with sports today. We have a lot to talk about, and I do gotta say I've been really enjoying the content of our episodes lately. I hope our listeners and viewers out there have as well. But yeah, we'll finish up with sports today. We got a lot of things, a few housekeeping before we even get into it. Random celebrity generator. We got Fear Factor coming out with Johnny Knoxville, another TV show, one of Matt's favorites, Baylen Out Loud. We're going to talk about what happened to malls and then what else is going on across America. But Matt, good job on the not sober October. Kudos to you. I think that November 1st just banger, if you will, I think that ultimately could replace it, because even when I have done my own challenges, so to speak, it really just comes down to you. Like, nobody's holding a gun against your head. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, there's not like, it's not like, you know, at work, you're expected to like perform and like hit numbers or whatever. This is just your own personal endeavor in life. and you just got to be proud of that ultimately.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things to do a challenge which is objectively bad for you. But that's what I'm here for, to see what my body can handle, but in the reverse way. So
I mean,
like
it's
I
entertaining.
think I mean how do you one up not sober October? Do I just do like dry January, but I just do cocaine every day?
Yeah, I mean, we have time to think about it, which is nice. I think now you can just kind of sit back and relax. But like I said, it is entertaining. There's a particular person or a few people on YouTube, but one in particular, he does eating challenges where like he'll just like, for example, he's like, I'm only eating food from Ross Dress for Less stores, and it's just like a lot of like preserved meats and like popcorn and like
Yeah.
energy drinks.
I think right now he's in the midst of doing Dick's Sporting Goods, which I was like, good on you, man.
Are you talking about Killdozer?
No, I was talking about Sir Yacht.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, similar concept.
Yeah.
I thought myself, because I did hop back on, I did take a little break from the In-N-Out burger. Me and Culver's are still seeing other people currently, and I'm happy. So that's what really matters. But I thought of doing one where it's like, okay, what if I just ate like In-N-Out for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, maybe a week or something? Ultimately, I just think it would get boring, like after a couple days. Not only for me, but anybody that I would be, forcing to watch such a content creation type thing. But Matt, you did it. Kudos, happy November to all of our listeners out there. We crossed the 11th month for Matt and those alike who celebrate the number of the month, not the name. But we are rounding out 2025. Kind of crazy. I went for a walk today, and it was just kind of like crazy that I was going for a walk on November 3rd in 86 degrees.
So if you switch those numbers around and minus 30, that's what it was today. 38 degrees here. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, a lot of people, want to comment on the weather of where I'm from, which, that's pretty much the main topic. And I was like, well, from what I know, they had a really nice fall, but at any moment, the later we get into the year, it could just turn to shit. And you never know when that's going to be. You're already hitting the damn near freezing temperatures. And it felt great. I broke a sweat. I think I got a little, some sun, probably got a little tan going. So that was good. But Matt, I do want to talk about your criminal behavior lately. You informed me recently that you were pulled over yet again. And just to be clear, this doesn't coincide with Matt's drinking challenge and him driving, two separate things. Just want to make that clear now. Matt is currently not wanted by authorities or have representation by a lawyer in a courtroom of any sort. So just disclaimer there. But Matt, what's going on, man? You're just flying around in the Subaru. What's happening?
So I've been basically like red shirting my car registration. Like I do it 1 year in arrears. So I basically just like forget it for 6 months, and then I get pulled over, and then I do it, and then I won't get a new registration for another year. I'll get pulled over. Like I think it was almost to the day that I got pulled over last year.
Yeah. Was it like the same cop, perhaps? He's like, "Oh, Matt, how are you?
No,
Have you been? How's your mom doing?" Like,
no, this was a different one. That would have been funny though. But it was kind of funny because I did just leave a bar, and I should have told him about not sober October. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think he would have got a good laugh with that. But I just got done doing a comedy show where I ate a semi-large bag of dicks on stage, and I was like, he's like, what are you doing tonight? And he like got real close to my face. So I'm like, he's definitely trying to smell booze. And I have been drinking. So I was like, okay. Like I had 2 beers. Like I wasn't worried about it at all. And I was like, yeah, I'm just coming from Laughing Sun Brewing. I was watching some comedy there. And he's like, oh, we're the comedian's funny. And I was like, well, I was one of them. So no. And he just lost his mind, like was just chuckling. And he comes back. He's like, here's your stuff, man. I think you're a funny guy. And I was like, okay, whatever. He was like,
you just crack the code of getting out of a ticket. Like women can like cry or like, I don't know, flash them a boob or something. That just cracks a self-deprecating joke.
I did leave one thing out of the story. I did have to jerk him off though. Like that was part of it, but
So it could be some pretty gnarly body cam footage. So I'm excited for that to get released.
yeah, well, they also had like, I get it, they have to do it, but they have like the spotlight that they have on your car that like you can't see behind you in the rear view mirror. And you know
I
me,
hate that.
I'm a really jumpy person, so I wasn't expecting him to be back. And he was like still kind of chuckling, but he like comes down, he like puts his head on the window. He's like, all right, we'll get you out of here for that. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
The reaction time is a little slow tonight, sir. You sure you only had 2 beers at the brewery?
I wish I would have just done like the field sobriety test and just failed it. And it's like, wow, you blew a .01. How are you this uncoordinated? And it's like, well, when you've drank for 27 straight days, your the bandwidth on your coordination is obsolete.
Yeah, like I understand. I know that like your tolerance definitely increases. I wonder if there's any effect on like blood alcohol content. Like if you drink a lot, do you maybe have less? Does that make any sense to have less? I don't think so. I think just like, and what is your tolerance at the end of the day? Is that just like your mental cognition to handle yourself because you've been used to being drunk every day for 30 days, or what do you
Yeah,
think it
well,
is?
I got a Uber or Lyft home on Saturday night, and it was one of those where like I kind of felt like I was in the movie Get Out, where I was like trapped in my body but like couldn't say anything, because I remember the driver was from Cameroon,
Okay.
Africa, and he was like, I was like, well, where are you from? He's like, Cameroon. And like without skipping a beat, I just go, Cameroon Diaz. I was and he just like, it just did not get. I was like, that was the dumbest thing I could have ever said.
So, how long have you been driving Uber?
Oh!
I can see it already.
I was like, I gotta tame it down. I'm already banned for life from Uber. Like I can't get banned from Lyft. So like I leave like as big a tip as I possibly can every time,
Yeah.
just in hopes that they're like, that guy was a real dick, or like the dumbest human being on the planet. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I usually just keep it like an even, no matter what the price, unless I'm going really far away, but I have taken kind of the same routes to my favorite places, and it's just a even $5, whether it's surge pricing or not. You're just gonna get $5. We're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna be there on time. Although I did order one the other night and then my phone died, so that wasn't good. Probably brought my rating down a little bit. But the last time I got pulled over, it was because I had a headlight out. I was stone cold sober. We did have open mic that night. I was headed back up to the lake in this past summer, and I remember the guy that came up, did his usual stuff, and then like those were those Wednesdays where I would literally have like, not consecutive, but I would just have like a 16-hour day of just like commuting, going to places. At the end of the night, had to host open mic night and then drive home. And he was just like, asked if I had been drinking. I said no, I didn't have anything to drink. And then like he did the like, are you sure? Like, let me think. Yep, no, still didn't have anything. Or just crack a beer and chug it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, now I had one. But he was like, well, your eyes are kind of glossy and red. And I have such a problem with that because it's like, okay, you were shining a flashlight in my face and like my eyes aren't dry. Like I have normal eyes, I have normal vision, I don't have contacts. So like I just have normal eyes, I guess. I don't the glossy eyes thing is such a crock of shit. I disagree with it 100%. But then I basically was just like, hey, man, I know you have a job to do. And like, I really want to get home. So I'm going to save yourself some time. If you feel like you need to like test me for alcohol, I will gladly submit to it. But let's just go straight to the breathalyzer. Like, let's just get it over with. And he's like, he was taken back by that. He's like, are you sure? I said, yeah. Yeah. Like you have places to be. You're just doing your job. I totally respect that. I have places to be. I'm telling you with confidence that I haven't had a sip of alcohol. And then he like asked me to get out and then still did a field sobriety on me. But he did the one test and you have to keep your head still and only move your eyes. And then after it got to be long, like, I don't know, like 2 minutes maybe, which is a long time. Like that's relatively not long, but when you're sitting there like watching this goddamn pen go in every which direction,
Yeah.
I started laughing a little bit because I was like, is this fucker done or not? And
You know what?
after,
Just arrest me so I can go home
Yeah.
and sleep.
yeah, just throw me in the cell so I can grab some sleep. But after that, he's like, yeah, no, I can tell you haven't been drinking. I was like, oh, that's funny.
No judgment here, douchebag.
What else do we have for housekeeping?
I went to Costco yesterday with just a crippling hangover. It's the worst place to go. I was like, maybe I won't know anyone here. I walked in and within, I don't know, 15 seconds, turned the corner and I'm just face to face with one of my friends who's with his kids. And he's like, Cleary, how you doing today? I was like, I've been better. And just turned and walked away. It's the worst. So
Is
many
that
people.
Is that a wastebasket over there? Just whoa.
I found out I do save a lot of money when I don't go to Costco. Like when I go to Costco really hungover, because I basically just get the bare necessities to keep me alive. Like I'm not just like going through every aisle and like grabbing like just a ton of snacks. I was like, all right, I could do this for dinner one night, this. All right, that's good. And they're like $114, which is like the least I've ever spent at Costco.
Yeah, it's gonna last you a while though, I hope. So those are the worst times to go to places like that.
But then the night before, I don't know how I got so drunk. I think it was the amount I drank. But there was this bowl of like, instead of candy, it was just like the 99 proof variety pack. That was like, there was like 40 of them in there, and they're all like apples, bananas, like cinnamon, like all the whole smorgasbord. And I was like kind of sitting and standing in spots where it was like kind of by the bowl, so someone would go over there and like they would like grab one and look at it, and then they're like, "Oh, anyone want to do a shot with me?" And I was always like making eye contact with them. They'd be like, "Get over here!" I think I had like 12 of those shots,
Oh, brutal.
and like I was just like, I think I did every flavor, like peach, passion fruit, cinnamon. Um,
I'm getting
I
heartburn just hearing
yeah,
about it.
I was just drawing out randomly. I did pink lemonade, normal lemonade. Um, but then at like I think it was like 11 o'clock. Like, hey, I gotta go home. As I'm standing upstairs in the kitchen trying to eat like a chicken parm slider that's just falling onto the ground. Oh man,
Pretty good party though.
yeah, it was fun. There was like a costume contest. And I'm not really sure who won, but I think so. There was one of like the better costumes I've ever seen in my entire life. And then there was three people that just wore like Spider-Man costumes that you get from like Spirit Halloween. Like, and like I think they took first. And I was like, how? When second place was a girl dressed as a shark with a fake arm hanging from her. And then there was a girl that didn't have one arm who was
Yeah.
wearing like a surfboard outfit, and like she got her arm bitten off by the shark, and I was like, that's the greatest costume I've maybe ever seen. And it took second place to 3 people that bought Spider-Man pajamas from Walmart.
That's usually how Halloween costumes go. It's just like the first place usually it's rigged some way, shape, or form, and the second and third are actually the best. The best one I saw this Halloween was it was Chit from like Instagram, where I've seen him. Really awkward guy in the office. He kind of like hunches over. He's like, "Oh yeah, we can do it." I don't know how to even explain this guy, but it was Chit, and he's just blowing up on social media. But this guy had it down to a T. I had it on my story. It was the best. We were at a country bar, and he was trying to do a line dance and had zero clue what he was doing. But yeah, I ended up hanging out with that guy for the night, so that was cool. I just dressed up as Cowboy Gordon that night, went out as Hulk Hogan the night before. I had my feather boa out, and man, that thing just sheds. There's feathers everywhere, all over my apartment, all over downtown Chandler. So you probably could have just followed me to my house afterwards, just follow the feathers. But I think that's all we have for housekeeping. Let's get into it. Episode 271.
One sec.
Episode 271. No brains, no headache. Matt and Jordan.
Okay. Let's party.
I've been doing so. I made up the license plate game, and it's been pretty popular between me and the 3 people that play it. And I came up with this new thing that I like to do. You can basically make up your own name, but I want you to take your phone out and Google random celebrity generator and click on the first one. It's randomlists.com. And I like to do this, and it's like, okay, like in my mind, it's like I have to have a threesome with the top 2 that I get. So I currently, the one that I just got, I'm having a threesome with Dr. Phil and Tom Cruise.
So I picked on random lists, and it's just whoever's at the top.
Yep.
Okay, mine's not bad because Marissa Tomei, she's very attractive, and then Dustin Hoffman. I can't imagine old Dusty's going to do any elaborate moves, so I'm probably going to have to do most of the work in this one.
Yeah. Or like another one I like to imagine is like, oh, I got to play in a poker game with all these people. Imagine playing in a poker game with Leonardo DiCaprio, Kris Jenner, Eva Longoria, and Elton John.
This would be a fun poker game with Neil Diamond, Laura Whitmore, not sure who that is. She looks very beautiful. Tom Hanks, Zoe Deschanel, Sylvester Stallone were some of the tops.
But I wanted to do this exercise. We have to build, you get one random, and you have to build a starting 5 basketball team with that one random.
And then I go through the generator.
Yeah, so just go through the generator, stop. So I think it gives you 10 names, go through, and then it stops, and then just build out a
so I hit
5.
rerun.
Yeah, but like, so if I was gonna do this one, I did get Michael Jordan, but I'll redo it so I don't have Michael Jordan in my
God damn it.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. All right. My starting point guard. I'm gonna go with my starting point guard is Macaulay Culkin.
Okay, I did get a good one. My starting point guard is going to be Dwayne Wade.
Ah, that is good. I don't know how he stacks up against Macaulay Culkin, but my shooting guard will be Charlie Chapman.
My shooting guard is going to be Justin Bieber, the Biebs.
Ooh, it's pretty good. I'm gonna go with my small forward, and I'm gonna go with Amanda Bynes.
Oh, dude, I also got her, so I'll take that off. You can't have the same ones. Yeah, Amanda Bynes, I think, would be like if you've seen recent pictures of her, she could be a real brawler. She's going to
Yeah.
be diving on the floor. What are we at? Shooting, or what are we at? Shooting small forward. Small forward. We'll go with Stephen Hawking. But if he's injured for some reason, I'm gonna go with this Stacy Dash gal. She looks very athletic. I do recognize her. Couldn't tell you exactly what from. She's also black, so that helps.
Okay, yeah. My power forward, I'm gonna go with Justin Trudeau. He's got time on his hands, and I think he played hockey or something, so maybe he'd be okay.
Probably for mine, I'll probably have to go with Matt Damon. I mean, he's got to be in shape at least. You would think. He's getting kind of up there in age, but I think he can hold down the fort. I think having Dwayne Wade ultimately is just going to give me the edge here.
Oh,
but
for sure. Other than Macaulay Culkin somehow secretly being a good basketball player, I just don't see this going well for me. Because my starting center, I have to go with Robert Redford, who I think is 250 years old.
Well, mine's James Earl Jones.
Imagine that matchup in the paint.
Well, I also have James Dean, but I think he's just super dead. So I don't know anymore. I can never tell which celebrities are dead or not. If I did one random from my next crew, oh, this isn't great at all. I got Toby Keith, Larry David. I am discriminating against women in this scenario just because I just feel I don't think Taylor Swift is any good at basketball. Jessica Alba, no. Jennifer Lawrence, maybe. I could see her being athletic. Coco Chanel, no. Jim Carrey, I don't know. He's pretty good in the Cable Guy. Maybe Jim Carrey.
But isn't this an awesome website?
Yeah, I mean, well, we could definitely have to do more in the future. I do like those one generators where they say like where would you sit on the plane, and it's like rows of 3 on each side, so you're either like in the middle of 2 really cool people like in the back, or you have like an aisle seat but it's like not as great. So I do like those. I like those a lot.
Yeah, that's all I got for random people generator.
Well, we didn't have Johnny Knoxville in either of our lists. I'm sure if you went through it enough, you'd probably eventually land on the star of the show and movie series Jackass. But I did see that Johnny Knoxville is now the host of the revamped Fear Factor. Thoughts on Johnny hosting Fear Factor?
I mean, he'll be good at it. Like, I can't imagine he's bad at it. He's like the most personable person on the planet, and anything that they're going to have done to him, Johnny's been through worse.
Yeah. I think they hit a home run getting Johnny Knoxville as host. I wonder what Joe Rogan is thinking. Hopefully he's proud of his ultimate successor as host of Fear Factor. But I saw the commercials the other day for them promoting it. That show will just I think it might do well actually, because it makes you feel something when you're watching it, like a box full of snakes. No, thank you. I'm good on that. Even if they're like, well, they won't bite. Okay, well, it's still a fucking box of snakes.
I can't remember. It was a show on like Spike or something called like How Far You'd Go, or like The Toughest Man on the Planet. And they were out at a racetrack, and it was like 120 degrees in California, and they had to walk barefoot on the racetrack so you could walk the longest. And like multiple people from that show had like permanent nerve damage on their feet, and the show
really?
got canceled like the next episode.
Brutal.
But I do like the Fear Factor Johnny Knoxville pick. I think it came down to they were like, all right, it's between Steve-O and Johnny Knoxville. And then they like look up Steve-O. It's like he just got a dick tattooed on his face. Yeah, let's go with Knoxville. That'll probably be easier to cover up than just having to blur out Steve-O's face the entire time.
Well, and Steve-O's doing a lot of stuff himself. He does have a pretty successful podcast, at least from what I can tell. And he's been doing a lot of old stunts, like I don't know, changing them up a little bit, but a lot of old stunts. For his recent Halloween costume, he had a bunch of dudes send in their pubes and then essentially like covered himself in some sort of sticky substance and then was covered in dudes' pubes. So, I'm out on that one too.
Also,
like that's
the dudes that had to go through the logistics of mailing their pubes
and crabs.
Yeah, just gotta head to the post office. I'm mailing Steve-O some of my pubes.
Well, it's like the Jackass skit where what was his name? Aaron McGee. He dresses up as like a terrorist and he like is planning to go to the airport. And then they have, and I'm going to butcher this, but I apologize, but it's Jay Chandrasekhar or whatever. He's one of the Super Trooper guys and Beer Fest and all those movies. He's the cab driver and they actually like reverse the stunt on Aaron McGee. He ends up throwing him in the trunk and just driving in circles in a parking lot, and then they act like, the other guys run up like, hey, it's just a skit. They slam two boards together, which apparently just mimics the sound of a gunshot, and then everyone's quiet and then they pop the trunk. But he had, for his beard, I mean, they had it like packaged up, but everybody on set pretty much just shaved their pubes into some sort of receptacle, and then they're like, oh, this is fake costume hair, and it was just all over his mouth.
Yeah, that's friendship ending.
What kind of things on Fear Factor though can they possibly make people eat that like we haven't seen on TV before? Because I'm a big Survivor fan, the hit TV show Survivor, and on there they've kind of gotten away. Well, I haven't watched any recent seasons because it's kind of getting a little ridiculous. But usually what they would do is like eating challenges, but it's like food like native to whatever country they're in. Now they only do it. I'm pretty sure they just own an island in Fiji or the Fiji. I don't understand geography when it comes to Fiji, but
they just bought Epstein's island.
They pretty much just do it on like the same island and keep their production team there, which probably is a little more effective ultimately. But they would, I know one, like the one I'm thinking of is they're like half hatched duck eggs. So it's literally like a baby duck that obviously died or whatever in an egg. And you just gotta like eat this goddamn duck, like bones and all.
Yeah. I don't know if what if they were just like, all right, for your challenge this week, you have to eat Arby's.
Yeah, I was gonna say McDonald's, and like you clearly know that person is sworn off like fast food. I only eat Whole Foods, and you just make them eat fast food.
Dude, the amount, if they were only eating like clean and healthy stuff, like, yeah, I'm on a real plant-based diet, and you had them eat like a McDonald's McDouble,
oh wow,
their entire body would just start convulsing.
Yeah, the challenge is you have to like eat a McDonald's meal, wait a half hour, and then go like run a 5K, like wearing all white.
Oh God, that'd be so funny. No bathroom breaks.
Yeah, no bathroom breaks until you're done with the 5K. And then we are gonna have cameras in the shitters just for content.
And then just to have them run a 5K and then like put porta potties on one thing of it, wait till they go into the porta potty and then just tip it over.
Or only have one bathroom to use, and then like that's your motivation to finish first, is there's one bathroom you can use at the end.
It's not bad. I mean, we're basically just turning it into Fear Factor, turning it into like making people poop their pants on camera.
I mean, have we seen it done before though? I can't think of it. Usually, they have to eat like really weird, random, gross shit, and then they just like puke. I mean, we've seen that before. That's not as fun. I don't think when you're then that's just messing with like the stomach, the esophagus, and ultimately the mouth, and I guess your brain, because that's what you're just puking up because like you can't handle it. What we are proposing is challenging the entire digestive system. Like in Dumb and Dumber when he puts the laxative in the tea and he's like, "Harry, buddy, old pal, how about a toast?"
Yeah, so turning Fear Factor into just poisoning people. It's like, we're going to see how these people react to rattlesnake venom. Up next.
Well,
They play tic-tac-toe against each other until someone dies.
we got to get creative. That's all. And that's what we do here on No Brains, No Headache. We're having a good time. But Matt, you have another show you want to talk about.
So I really love the show Baylen Out Loud. If you're not familiar with it, she is a girl that has crippling Tourette's OCD, where it's like, instead of like tics when people would be like shit, and like she will say full on like paragraphs, sentences, and it's the most comical, funny stuff ever. Like the first one I showed Jordan, she was introducing herself and she was like, "Hi, my name is Baylen," and then her tick was, "And I have a 9-inch penis." And
down in Dallas.
Scumbag. But so she was meeting up with her mother-in-law, Marlene, on the latest episode of Baylen Out Loud. Comes out every Tuesday. Check it out. Speaking of coming out every Tuesday, so does the podcast. But Baylen is in hot water because on the upcoming episode, they're doing wedding planning with Marlene, and she cannot stop calling Marlene, or she can not stop saying the following sentence: "Marlene's a dirty, fat, filthy, horny fucking whore."
Do you think that Baylen could because she's obviously leaned into it, and good for her. I can't imagine having Tourette's or anything like that. It's got to be tough. But so she has the TV show Baylen Out Loud, TLC, one of Matt's favorite networks. I don't know if I was on YouTube or what. I came across I don't have TLC, but I came across like a full episode of it. I can't remember. I was watching.
It's on HBO.
Is it? Okay, maybe that was it. But I was so intrigued the whole time. Her and her boyfriend, now fiance, they were moving into an apartment together, and apparently Baylen is kind of like a dog in the sense of she can't handle thunderstorms, and it was like they're moving her stuff in, and it is just dark out or about to pour. They just have to pretty much just lock her in a room, and she's have to lay on the floor because no furniture was set up or anything. I can't imagine.
There's one where they're looking at apartments, and she's like, "Oh, there's a balcony," and she opens the door, and there's a guy running by, and she's like, "Eat shit, fucker."
But I guess what I was gonna say was, do you think if she leaned into it and obviously was consented to it and was okay, would she be an awesome stand-up comedian bit where she could just tell a story about her life or challenges or any story, just anything to get context out there to promote those tics, I guess. I don't want to sound like we're just just utilizing her for her Tourette, but would that not be the most entertaining thing ever, where it's hey, she's okay with it, she wants to make you laugh via her tics, and she's just telling a story about wedding planning with her mom, and she calls her I'm sorry, Matt, what was it again?
Marlene's a dirty, fat, filthy, horny fucking whore.
Dirty, fat, filthy, horny fucking, that's hard to say.
But fast. They were looking at cakes or something, and every time Marlene would say a word, she would just go, "Lying bitch." Dude, but honestly, she could have the greatest stand-up career ever. All she'd have to do is take up like one Dr. Seuss book and just read it on stage, and whatever that drums up for ticks is going to be hilarious.
And who knows, maybe doing stand-up comedy, being on stage in front of a large crowd, maybe that could be like a cure in a way where it's like, when you and I go do comedy, it's like, okay, we really have to, make sure we're doing our job well, making sure we're literate and we're stressing and we're just on point, and maybe it doesn't always work out. Whereas her thing is like, I'm going to go on stage and talk and then have all these ticks. She gets on stage, no ticks. And it's like, holy fuck, we just cured Tourette's.
Maybe that's it. I mean, what's his face? He came to Bismarck. Not James Lynch, something, whatever his name is, but he's like has a really bad stutter, and he's gotten like way better through like speech therapy. But anytime he goes on stage, the word banana really throws him off. So people will just yell banana, and then he'd be like, "Don't say banana."
Just have a full-on meltdown. I mean, maybe she could. I'm a big fan of Baylen. You've made me a fan, sending me random reels and stuff. I mean, it's taken up like a decent part of our conversation throughout a normal day. Like Matt and I were texting the other day, and we were just analytically breaking down. Was it a club sandwich?
Yep.
Yeah, where you're like, oh, I don't like tomato. And I'm like, I like the tomato, but it's dealer's choice. And then you're talking about like the sogginess factor. And essentially, if you don't put a tomato on it, it's pretty much just a meat and cheese sandwich. The meat needs to be bigger than the bun.
God, I was watching Rust Valley Restorers yesterday when I was just having maybe the worst hangover day of all time. And I was watching that, and it's the episode where Avery decides to put concrete into his door panels for a demolition derby. And he ordered way too much concrete, and he just dumps it on the ground. He's like, well, that's the leftover concrete. I'm like, that's going to harden, and then you're just going to be stuck with a mound of concrete.
It's just like it's pretty much just a boulder now, and he puts it like right on the edge of his driveway. No wonder why his neighbors eventually complained about him.
Well, then I saw he had an auction because he had to clean out his yard, and he tries to use a weed whacker for the weeds, and it immediately breaks. So then he's using like what was he using? It was like the
flamethrower.
No, it was something that like cuts. I think it was like a hedge trimmer or something, but like he was using a full-on chainsaw to cut weeds or something. Like it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But he was selling stuff, and they're going through his yard scene. He's like, "Oh, Avery, what's this?" And he had like tucked away back in his yard a full-blown like ski slope grooming machine, like one of those huge, wide.
What are they called? Mammoths.
Yeah, he had one of those, and he was like, "I got a good deal on it like 15 years ago," and it sold for like $60,000. But he just had like a bunch of barn cats hanging out in it.
Yeah, I mean, really, my spending habits just come down to like, okay, I probably shouldn't go to the bar or wager these sports bets, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
These guys have a similar thing, gearheads, I believe you could call them, where they just buy random vehicles that they have no need or want for, really, besides just wanting it. I did see an Instagram reel the other day where some dude was getting a vehicle delivered, and it wasn't the Astro minivan, but it was the GMC version, like those big blocks of minivans. Yeah. And he's just rolling it off the car trailer, and his wife comes out, and she's like, "What did you buy now?" And it's just like mid 2000s clunky minivan that you just have no real need for. But I guess I'm glad that ultimately, I think my vices are just a little bit more affordable. I'm not spending thousands of dollars on a piece of metal that carries oil and gasoline, gets you from A to B. But I already have one of those. I only need one. So what can you do? But what's happening across America, you may ask. And Matt, when you saw this on the rundown. That's why I put in parentheses news headlines. I'm not like about to go on some sort of like political, like social justice rant. But I just thought it
It
was
could still happen.
interesting. I saw a few headlines. One was, I believe it was Fox News. Not that that matters. Just trying to give credit where credit is due. They were reporting that beachfront homes were collapsing into the ocean in North Carolina as waves annihilate the Outer Banks. And I just want you to picture, you, Matt, and our listeners, just picture those houses on the coast that are on stilts in the water. Now, my question becomes, why do we feel the need to build homes there? Like we know this is going to happen.
Yeah, and there's always video of it because they're like Outer Banks is getting crushed by a hurricane. There's always a guy who has like an iPhone 7 out there just getting demolished by the hurricane, and he videos these houses falling into the ocean. And honestly, it's kind of sad, but at the same point, it's like you bought a house on the world's largest body of water that is constantly changing, and you're like miles away
known
from
for hurricanes.
yeah, you're miles away from anything that is remotely stable ground. And you're like, you know what? These 4x4s should really hold my house together.
And that's what it is. They're not like the thickest beams you've ever seen. My question is, how do they get electricity, plumbing, any sort of utility to these places? And then when they ultimately crash down into the ocean, do we just have an open propane line just feeding into the ocean? I hope we're turning the gas off before we know it's going to collapse.
I'm assuming that happens because I think a lot of these have like rural electricity, like that's running into the house somehow, or like solar panels. I know. I'm assuming any of their plumbing, like they take a shit and you just see the shit fall off the side of the house, like that's their plumbing.
Well, I still don't understand the need to like build a house there. Like, you know, you've been to the Weichel family lake cabin. I lived there over the summer. That would be like instead of just building on the land, like right next to the water and still having great access, you can still take in the beauty, go enjoy the water if you so choose to. Instead, we just go like 10 feet into the lake and then build the cabin there. It probably would be more stable than building a house on the ocean, considering we actually have like decent soil and like we don't have like waves and winds crashing in at a record rate often. I mean, it happens. There's usually a nasty storm like once or twice every summer, but I just don't see the need. And if you really want to live on the water, let me introduce you to something called a houseboat. It floats. You don't have to like put 4x4 stilts into the sandy ground.
Dude,
And you can move it. You can move.
Imagine trying to get insurance on one of those houses.
Well, and then when it gets swept away into the ocean, so we just have a shitload of debris out. I know it's a big body of water, but it's like we could have tried our best to like the whole please don't litter movement. You're littering literally at an aggressive rate, probably one of the highest littering rates. Do you think they get a littering charge for each piece of building material?
Well, you know what they do? They take in Florida, they take old mobile homes and they'll just throw them into the ocean and use them as like fish habitats.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was like, imagine if like you got hit by a huge storm and you don't have time to get all your possessions out. So like somewhere there is a new fish habitat in the ocean that just has like a chest with this guy's porn collection still in it. Or there's like a there's somewhere out there there's a fish habitat where there's a poster on the wall with a piñata that says I'd hit that.
Yeah. I like that.
There's a fish habitat out there where some guy had 3 air fryers and no actual oven.
I mean that might be the way to go. I'm jonesing getting air fryer one of these days. So yeah, I guess I wish the best to everybody experiencing such harsh weather. But why can't we go inland, even just like a couple hundred yards, and you just build your house there, and your problem would be better. And hey, the ocean is still right there. You can still like go see it, and you can touch it, feel it, swim in it. Take a shit in it, whatever you want to do. But maybe just no brains, no headache recommendation coming at you. I don't do this often, okay? But maybe just build your house on land, or if you're jonesing to get on the water, houseboat. They make them. You can just buy a normal houseboat that's literally a trailer that's got like a steering wheel and a little 2-stroke motor on the back, so you can get around not very quickly. You can do that, or yachts. There's really nice luxury places to live. Assuming that you're living on a stilt home in the Outer Banks, North Carolina, yacht is probably going to be out of your budget. I don't discriminate. I'm not going to assume, but that's our recommendation. Here in Arizona, this isn't really a headline, more of an observation. Arizona has terrible drivers. You know what they like to do?
There's a lot of Mexicans down there. What do you expect?
A lot of women down here. They like to do this thing where there's kind of like a median, not on an interstate of any sort, just in a busy road in the townships around Phoenix. They like to pull out into the median, so they get like halfway across, but then there's still a shitload of traffic coming on. And I was very against this. Road rage was at an all-time high. And then the other day I found myself at a pretty busy crossroads, and I also pulled out into the median, and it was awkward as shit. Uh, I was trying to watch traffic from both sides, but also get within the lines of the median so I didn't get just T-boned. Pretty ridiculous. And I have been, it's so funny, like, if I wish I had like a live feed of me driving in my car, it wouldn't be very many or often scenarios or instances, but it's like where I'm just yelling at people. Like, I'll just get cut off very clearly from someone. It's like, and I'm just sitting there driving. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'll just go fuck myself then. Okay, thanks for nothing, jackass.
From what I gathered, you're like, Arizona has really bad drivers, and then you described you being one of the worst drivers in Arizona.
Yeah, no, it's contagious. Now I'm starting to do the things that I considered bad and obnoxious, just to like, I guess, get around from A to B and just assimilate. I gotta get
trying to fit in with all the Asian Uber drivers in Arizona.
Yeah, that guy, when my phone died the other night, he's gonna be pissed. I should probably write him an apology letter. But yeah, just bad drivers left and right. And then taking us up to Minnesota, which will actually kind of kick off our sports section of the episode. The Minnesota Twins have named a new manager. Dude, I had this in my notes, and I couldn't read. I had the guy's name wrong. I didn't even have twins spelled correctly. So I had to decipher on my own. But what's this guy's name? Derek something. Where is it? Okay. The Minnesota Twins have hired Derek Shelton as their new manager going forward. He was the bench coach under Paul Molitor and Rocco Baldelli for the last about 5 years or so. But it's funny, I just typed this into Google, Matt, and all I could see, the headline is, this is Puckett's Pond, wrote this article by Jackson Cruz. Twins fans shouldn't be concerned about new skipper's managerial record with the Pirates. And under that, it says, it wasn't his fault. Apparently, he was the manager for the Pirates. The year he got fired was in mid-May, which is very early in the season for a manager getting fired. At that time, his squad was 12-26, and overall record is 306 wins and 404 40 losses to make a winning percentage Hello, anybody there?
I lost you there for like the last 15, 30, 45 seconds.
Yeah, I accidentally clicked away just to check this article. Did you hear a word I said?
You kind of not like he had a 300 and then it cut off and then 400 record with the Pirates. They said it wasn't his fault. I got most of it. But the Pirates were instantly better after this guy left.
And that's how it goes. Yeah, I guess I just wanted to bring that up. Probably have a lot of Twins fans out there. I personally am not, as you probably know, if you've been following the podcast. This is a Cubs podcast, unofficially, of course. But I just want to say to all the Twins fans out there, and especially to this Derek Shelton gentleman, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of the worst franchises in professional sports to work for.
Yeah, you got a couple really good players on your team. Don't worry, they'll be gone by trade deadline.
Well, and the Cubs even snagged one of their players, and he wasn't even like their best player. It was just like they just did a fire sale and just got rid of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, and Willie Castro kind of sucked.
All right. Well, I had to exit out of our rundown, but I believe this is into our Minnesota Vikings portion, correct, Matt?
Yep.
All right. Well, I do want to start by just playing a little clip. I figured out I don't have Bluetooth capability, so I'm just going to play it on the old phone. I found this clip from our YouTube episode last week. As you listeners know, we do have it available on all the audio platforms wherever you listen. But if you actually want to watch the show, it is on YouTube. And I came across this clip. I would like to play it as a preface before I even get into anything I'm going to say afterwards.
So there's that. The Vikings go on the road to the Lions this weekend. I'm predicting an upset right now. Okay? The Vikings are going to figure it out. They're going to play with a little bit of grit, a little bit of hustle. They're going to pull their head out of their anus cavity, which is where it's been for the last few weeks. And then guess what? We have the Ravens.
Okay. That's all I wanted to play. I don't know how well you could hear that. I predicted the upset last week. Did I bet a single dollar on the Vikings? Put my money where my mouth is? No. Why would I do such a thing? I'm a complete moron. But what do we have? What is it? Week 9 in the NFL.
Am I the only one that thinks that in that clip you kind of sounded like Jim Rome for a little bit?
Well, and that's the funny part, Matt, is down here I'm listening. I found my favorite radio stations, and AM 1060 actually covers the Jim Rome show, and I've been listening to it a lot. He just had on last Friday on Halloween, he had his like trash talk competition series thing. Yeah, so I probably am just getting a little bit of Jim Rome in me, just not really by choice. But I do love listening to that guy. And yeah, I'm maybe it was just the muffled sound playing it from my phone. But I called it. The Vikings, they pull it off. And if you go back and listen to that show, I highly recommend. It's about the last 20 minutes. I kind of go on an epic rant. I do recommend listening to the whole episode because there's so many tie-ins. Honestly, that was some of my best work I've ever done of just tying together a whole episode of just referencing everything we talked about in one final rant about my favorite football team, the Minnesota Vikings. I'm wearing my 85 Kleinsasser jersey. I got my Vikings hat on, and of course, you know, I'm rocking the purple Vikings cup. So we're all in. They improved the 4-4, which is the funniest part about this. The beautiful part of being a Vikings fan is you would have thought we won the Super Bowl yesterday.
Hey,
they beat what?
An in-division game can never go under the radar.
Well, and it was just I'm just going to walk you through it. But they ended up beating the Lions on the road. 27-24 was the final score. Immediately, the Lions, they may have gotten a first down or two, but they get themselves into a 4th and 4. I'm just kind of getting in the groove of the game. I'm ordering a beer. I'm kind of talking to some people around me. I glanced down at my phone because I have a lot of moving parts going yesterday. And I look up, and all of a sudden, Jared Goff has the ball in the air to Sam Laporta, who just drags 3 Vikings defenders into the end zone for a score on 4th and 4 at about midfield. The Lions, they love to go for it on 4th. And right then and there, I was like, fuck, this is going to be a long day. I got a text from my brother. I got a text from a loyal listener, friend of the show, big Vikings fan, Big Zach, where it's just like, okay, here we go. The Vikings, they get a great kick return past the 50. Momentum is kind of shifted back to them. The offense hasn't been on the field yet. JJ goes to his boy, JJ. They tie the game up. Then they actually take a 7-point lead to go up 14-7 early on. At halftime, it was 17-14, and then they each scored 10 points in the second half. The Lions did make it really close towards the end there. They had a late touchdown to Jameson Williams after some review and listening to some of my favorite Vikings talks. Apparently, Jameson Williams had a bit of a push off. It wasn't super aggressive, but they just weren't calling it at that time. Some Vikings fans were super pissed. But I think they did play with grit. They did figure it out. We had definitely a lot more guys back, fully healthy, ready. Now, I don't know, say fully healthy. They were healthy enough to play. Let's say that. And it made a huge difference because they stuck with the Lions all day. JJ McCarthy looked really good. I had a few bets in. I had JJ McCarthy anytime touchdown score. So he scrambled in for one. So I was celebrating the touchdown. Light bulb went off. I was like, oh shit, I just won some money, especially for a quarterback not named Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. Those odds are usually pretty high for them to rush one in, catch one in. We will talk more about gambling in a minute here. I also picked the Vikings defense/special teams to score a touchdown. And they had 2 opportunities, one of which went all the way back, and then they had a holding call. The odds for a defense or special teams to score a goddamn touchdown are amazing. I mean, you can put in a few bucks and cash out pretty large. But, of course, why would that happen? We don't want nice things. The Vikings won, though. J.J. McCarthy played really well back in not his home state, but where he played college football for the Michigan Wolverines. He has still yet to lose a football game in the state of Michigan. As far as I know, I believe he's from Illinois, Chicago area. Could be wrong on that, but then went to college at Michigan. And the times he was playing, they never lost a home game. Now he's in the pros, goes to Detroit, takes care of the Lions, and definitely shook things up in the NFC North. So Skol Vikes, we got the Ravens at home, followed by the Bears at home. I think those are winnable games. It's going to be a battle no matter what. It's the NFL. But they're in a good position. Team's getting healthy. I think it's good to see J.J. McCarthy have some success. Let's not get too crazy here, though, because this happened at the beginning of the season, okay? Monday night opener at Chicago. J.J. McCarthy plays a terrible first 3 quarters, pops off in the 4th, comeback, win, beat the Bears. Very next week, Falcons at home. Cakewalk, right? He sucked ass. So I think the true test is going to be next week against a good team like the Ravens. Their record does not reflect their talent, in my opinion. So we'll see how that goes. But back to 4-4, and we were on a 2-game losing streak. So that's just the name of the nature in the NFL and being a fan. I don't know what I just said, Matt, but just go with it. Don't give me that look. Nature of the game.
Yeah, there you go. Name of the nature.
when I get to these rants, I just kind of roll, okay? And I
Yeah.
just try to find it along the way. That's all
Well,
I'm
I was
trying to
I was
do.
gonna say that the Panthers play the Saints next week. So if you've ever watched Special Olympics football,
Up. I did my research on the Panthers. But yeah, we got the Vikes coming up. And yes, I do want to talk about Matt's Panthers, dude. Panthers sitting at 5-4, man. They upset the Green Bay Packers. I was at a sports bar watching all the games. They had all the games on different TVs. I was right next to a Packers fan. He was losing his shit. At one point, he left and then came back and somebody was like, "Oh, did you run to your car?" And he's like, "Sometimes you just need to go for a walk." He had to like cool off, clear his head a little bit. The Panthers end up winning a pretty dog shit game. If you look at it, it was 16-13, I believe, in a walk-off fashion with the last second field goal as time expired. So the podcast teams, the Vikings, the Panthers, both won, and they helped one another. The Panthers helped the Vikings more than anything, but by upsetting the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love, I thought it was his birthday or the day before, something like that. So like when I heard that Sunday morning, it's like, okay, this is the information I want for gambling purposes. I ultimately didn't touch that game. You would think though that he would just go off, and there was a few plays where he was just throwing across the field. Anybody scoring at home that is a football fan, knows anything about the fundamentals of football, you just don't throw it across the field. Like it's very rare that that's you're going to get a green light from your coach or anybody with common sense to do that. And that one dude dropped it in the end zone for the interception. The Panthers player, it was 4th and 4, so I think he could have gone to the house though. Didn't they have a pick six at a different point in the game? I got it right in front of me. What am I talking about?
I don't think so. I thought it was like 17. I initially wrote the game off right away, like within 2 seconds of the game starting, like something just, I think the Packers got a field goal, and I was like, here we go again.
Jordan Love did throw an interception, but I don't think it was a pick six. Maybe a little bit of a return because Rico Dowdle, double-ended Dowdle, he had a hell of a game, put up some serious numbers. But yeah, the Panthers walk off against the the Packers on the road, which is really impressive in this league. And then I look forward to week 10. Panthers host the Saints. I'm not saying it's a shoo-in just because it is the NFL, but pretty winnable. Their opening odds are 5.5-point favorites, with the chance to go to 6-4. Matt, I don't know anything about the Panthers besides the scores they show me. What are they doing? What is their identity? Like, who are their best players?
We pound the rock. Like you said, Rico Dowdle is electric. Chuba Hubbard was okay, but he got hurt, which really just paved the way for Rico to be Uncle Rico. But honestly, like the defense is pretty legit, and I'm not entirely sure how.
Do they have J.C. Horn? Is that a name?
Yeah, J.C. Horn and Trevin Mayring are like the only two good players. They got a lot of like really young dudes. Derek Brown's obviously a beast. He'll be a Pro Bowler this year. But like they get really lucky. Like Bryce Young went 11 for 20 for 102 yards and an interception.
Well, Bryce was playing.
Yeah. Andy Dalton, I think, like broke his clavicle or something. But they also recovered a fumble and had an interception. So like when you do that, it's pretty hard to lose. But like unless they just get incredibly lucky, like this is not sustainable. Also, like me being in a good mood about the Panthers is not sustainable. But realistically, they could win 1, 2, 3. They could win like 6 more games this year. And if you would have told me before the season that the Panthers would almost get double-digit wins, I would have kicked you in the nuts.
Yeah, I never thought that we would be here at the beginning of November, week 9 wrapping up, and we're like counting the Panthers wins. Like no offense to your squad. I'm really impressed up to this point. Damn, dude, and they started 0-2.
Yeah, they went 0-2, and then I think they won 3 games in a row against just the who's who of bad teams in the league. And then they I think they beat the Falcons by 30 and then immediately lost to the Patriots by like 200. But let me paint this picture for you. So Saturday night, I'm nice and lubed up. I'm sitting there dressed as Chucky Finster, talking with PDB, a Packers fan, who's dressed as Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, that was a great costume.
Sitting in a wheelchair. And so you have Lieutenant Dan and Chucky bartering points to figure out a bet on the Packers-Panthers game. It's like, would you do 11.5?
Did you guys come to a conclusion?
Honestly, I don't think so. I don't really even remember.
Well, Matt, you did this. You did this with a different Packers fan we know. Like you would run into him like once a year, usually during football season, and you guys would make your bet. You really this time could have capitalized on that.
We could have done it. Well, that dude that I've been doing, like literally, it's funny because the only text messages I have from him is like, "What's your Venmo?" And it's just me losing. And then I think last year I won our bet. And I just haven't seen him since. So I'm eventually going to run into him and demand my $100. But I think he might have moved. I don't know.
No, he had a child, perhaps getting married. I don't know. Don't ask me. But
I'm going to show up to the wedding and ask for my $100.
Any objections? Just like, I'm cool with the marriage, but you mind if I just grab a few envelopes from the gift table? We'll call it even. Thanks. The Panthers going forward. And I'm going to run through it quick. Saints, Falcons, 49ers, Rams, bye. Saints, Bucks, Seahawks, Bucks. So that last stretch there could be a little tough. Bucks twice in 3 weeks, but you never know with divisional matchups. If
I think
you
we
even get
one.
a split there. Yeah, if you get a split there, you're looking good. The Saints twice is huge, but it's the NFC South, and that's just a wonky division of like never predict it. Sometimes they just get in random shootouts. Falcons could be winnable. 49ers, Rams, I don't know. Seahawks, I don't know. But we're going to keep track of it.
The last 3 weeks is just Baker, Sam Darnold, Baker. So just 2 quarterbacks that we kicked to the curb and they became all pros. So that should be fun.
Nice. Oh yeah, also sports gambling. I'm digging myself out of a hole. And let's just say if I hit my 9-leg parlay tonight, we're going to be sitting pretty.
So on Friday night, I'm like, I found out this new bet that I really like to do with baseball, and it's no runs in the first inning. So I bet no runs in the first inning, and it's like minus 145, like pretty decent odds. So I win that, and then I'm like, you know what? I got a sneaking hunch that there's going to be runs in the first inning. So on Saturday, I bet that there is going to be runs in the first inning, and I'm like, damn it, I lost. But I made this bet when I was pretty drunk. So I looked up the next day, and I had actually bet no runs in the first inning. So I accidentally won the bet. But then in my drunken stupor, I took that money that I won and put it on Jeremiah Love to win the Heisman at plus 10,000.
Okay. He has some work to do.
Yeah, I mean, he's like it could do it. He's in like the top 5, I think. Or no, it wasn't plus 10. It was plus 4,000. So 40 to 1.
Plus 10,000 is going to be a little lower on the list, but
yeah. But he's right there. He's the best running back in the nation.
Well, dude, I love sports gambling, and I even texted you straight up, and I was like, dude, I have an addiction. Like, I usually don't ever get that vulnerable and admit weakness in any way, shape, or form because I'm the man, strongest human, emotionally, physically, mentally possible. Um, no, I do. I love it so much. And we're recording on Monday, November 3rd. Like I said, happy November to everybody. I've never been more excited to watch a Cardinals Cowboys Monday night game in my life. Like, we're going to have to wrap this up soon, and we will, so I can get down and I can go watch the Cardinals Cowboys game. I cooked up a few parlays. What upset me was I always kind of look for, like, I don't know, inspiration or like ride other people's bets. I didn't check Twitter, and not that I would have done it because it's hindsight or would have put as much money down. But afterwards, I checked Twitter after the early slot of games. Jersey Jerry from Barstool, I believe he put either $200 or $300 down. Him and Big Cat each did. One did $200, one did $300, and it was anytime touchdown score for J.J. McCarthy, Caleb Williams, Daniel Jones, Trevor Lawrence, and it hit. And the $300 bet paid out $95,000. So pretty much ever since I saw that, I've been telling myself in my head of like, I'm going to be a sports gambler. Like, that's just how income is going to happen. Like, who needs a job? You know what I mean? If you win a $95,000 bet after a couple $100, pretty good. So, yeah, I did cook up a hell of a parlay or two, maybe even three. I don't know. I got to check again. But Matt, you did talk about baseball. We'll talk about it really quick, then we'll get out of here. Dodgers World Series champions yet again, 3 times in the last 5 years, back to back. Not the team I was going for. I was rooting for the Blue Jays. It kind of sucked. It was just like, oh, so my options are a Canadian team or the Dodgers. Might as well just make them a Mexican team. Not great. Ultimately, I mean, it's easy to say, but it did come down to that extra inning, 18 inning game the other night. I mean, that was really the factor that came into play. The Blue Jays could have put it away after that, and they didn't. They let the Dodgers linger around too much. I watched pretty much all of Game 7. Really exciting stuff. Some are saying one of the best World Series in history. I would probably have to agree to that. I hate to admit it. But Matt, what did you think of the World Series? Pretty sweet showdown of 2 teams with some superstars, opposite sides of the continent. So they had that going for them.
Well, couple things. I mean, I hated that the Dodgers won. I would have hated that the Blue Jays won because just seeing like a Canadian victory parade would have just made my blood boil too. But back in, I think, like 2024, I pretty sure I saw Will Klein pitch. He was the guy that came in and threw 5 innings in the 18th inning game. I think I saw him pitch in Omaha when I went to a AAA game.
Wow.
But I am thinking, like, how crazy would it be if this guy came in through 5 innings and then in like one of the biggest and best World Series game of all time and then never played another game in the MLB? Because I don't think he's played really at all other than that game.
Sorry, I gotta figure out my light situation. Beautiful sunset here in Arizona. Oh wow, that is really nice. Yeah, I'll be crazy if you just had like the shortest career of just shortest stint in the history of the MLB. It's just like a World Series.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm excited for the baseball offseason. Already today, like a ton of guys are opting out, and I was like, maybe the Cubs could get him, but they're never going to do that. So, but I can dream, and it's always fun to see who the Cubs get. I get new guys that I get to root for.
Yeah, countdown to spring training is on, so I'm close to the facility. Quick exercise, little fun game before we go. Matt, can you name the last 10 World Series champions? You go in any order.
Well, Dodgers have 3 of them.
When?
2015, 2024, and 2020.
Do you mean 2025 when you said 2015?
Yep.
All right. Those are 3 of them. You did get that correct. There's one pretty easy one on here.
Cubs 2016.
All right. You are 4 out of the 10.
Did Giants win it in 2015?
No, that's too far from our timeline, and it was actually the Royals that year because Ben Zobrist played for the Royals that year, won it, and then went to the Cubs, won it with them. There's a team on here that's won it twice in the last 10 years.
The Red Sox.
Any
in
idea?
2019? 2018.
All right. Red Sox in 2018 is correct. You have half of the board down. Now you got to really dig deep. There's a couple random names on here, a couple household names.
Spanish Armada.
Think back. This team is still very hated, but they won it twice in this timeline that I'm asking you.
The Yankees?
Good guess, but no. They used to be in the Cubs division. The only team that has realigned in fucking modern day.
The Twins?
They're in South Texas.
The Rangers?
What year was that?
2022.
We'll call it even at 3. Another Texas team won it in 2022.
The Astros.
All right, and they won it another time. So far, you have 17, 19, and 21 left.
So didn't they win in 2019?
Nope, Matt, that was the year we went to a game in Wrigley.
Oh, the Nationals. 2017, was that the trash banging?
Yep. So you have one left, 2021. I do have respect for this team. I believe a member of the Dodgers now did play for this team. A member of the Cubs now did play for this team.
Is it the Tampa Bay Rays?
No. I do have the losers pulled up. Let me see.
I
The
think
Rays lost to
'cause
the
they had-
Dodgers in 2020. I believe that was COVID season. So.
Yeah, but they had like Glass now and Snell on that team, I think. 2021. So it was after COVID.
A prominent member of the Dodgers played for this team, and an important piece for the Cubs also played for
the Atlanta
this team.
Braves.
Braves won it in 2021.
Yeah.
Plenty of hints, but I just thought it's just getting interesting because now it'll be more than 10 years now since the Cubs, have won it. So we're slowly withering down the list of World Series winners. And it'd be nice to have a fresh one. But hate to say it, congrats to the Dodgers. Hell of a season. They went 13-4, I believe, in the playoffs. That's pretty damn good. 2 of the series they swept. One was just the wild card, which is just a 2 out of 3 games, and then they swept the Brewers in the NLCS. So they got that going for us. But Matt, that's all we have for today. How can our listeners get more involved in the No Brains, No Headache universe?
Follow us on social media. That's No Brains, No Headache on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can watch the entire show on YouTube. And if you want to leave us a review or start following the show, you can rate, subscribe, review Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Check us out on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening today. Up next, we have episode 272.
You're watching Channel 4 News with 5-time Emmy Award-winning anchor Ron Burgundy and Tits McGee.
Good evening, San Diego. I'm Veronica Corningstone. Tits McGee is on vacation.
And I'm Ron Burgundy.